Okay, let's just settle into our meditation posture. And take a nice deep breath. And I'm just going to adjust my sound. There we are. Okay. And relax. And some of us are sitting at desks. And if you are, have your feet in a parallel position. If they're on the floor, maybe slightly raised. Other than that, if you're sitting in a cross-legged posture, the regular meditation posture, you can put a couple of cushions underneath either knee if you have tight hips and knees. Hands are in the meditation mudra, right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And let's just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. And just lengthen. Just imagine someone's above you, like a puppeteer, very gently lengthening your spine. So we're not necessarily aiming for totally straight, because our spine has natural curves in it. You just want to be lengthened, and your shoulders aligned with your hips. Head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose to a spot about 2 inches ahead of you if your eyes were open. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Lips are slightly apart, and relax the jaw. And let's just bring our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes. Go into the back of the eye socket, relax that area there. And the nose, the cheeks, area around the mouth. And bring your attention to the back of the head, the base of the skull, and just relax that area there. Your ears, the temples, back of the tongue, the jaw. And release any tension in your neck, the back of the neck and the shoulders. And just allow your shoulder blades to drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly and the limbs, hands, fingers and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath. And just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And welcome Susie and Shayla. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there. And notice what your mind is distracted by. What does your mind run towards? And then bring the mind back to the breath and allow the sounds to fade. And welcome Manuel. And notice your thoughts as they arise. Try and catch them. Notice. And maybe put some space in between your thoughts. Your feelings, your emotions. And then just notice them running. A river of mental moments. One moment following on after the next. And try not to engage. Try not to get captured by your own thoughts, or judge yourself, or have opinions, or follow stories, or make up stories even. And then we just, as we've been doing, we can just sit on the bank of the river and watch as an interested observer. Watch that river flow on by. And while we're sitting on the bank of the river, we're free from the river. So let's just bring to mind all the people of our life. These are people we love, our spouses, our children, our work colleagues, our besties, our dear friends who love and support us. And then there's those people that we have a little bit of difficulty with. Maybe we want to avoid them. And then there's those people who are just total strangers to us. Maybe we pass them in the traffic or in the store, on the street. And we don't have much concern for them. And just to remind ourselves that friend and that enemy and that stranger could change place at any time in our life. Maybe they have. And think that we could really start, just consider as an idea, perhaps this equalizing our feelings towards the friend, the enemy, and the stranger. Maybe not equalizing our feelings if that's too difficult. Developing this idea that maybe one day we might have equal concern. Why? Because the friend, the enemy, and the stranger are all the same in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering. And they all have this unbelievable capacity for this enlightened mind. So I think we'll do this purification practice tonight for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And given that we have Lorraine here in hospital, perhaps we can think about Lorraine and also all the people that are in hospital with her and all the people that are working there. So this purification practice is really kind of a relief to know that there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification practice is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind. So we're going to create positivity with our mind instead. So the first of the four opponent powers is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any sentient being on this day, in this life, or in any of our past lives. And there's Coral, welcome. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And given that we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So logically it would make sense that we would pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as suffering for us sometime down the track, and we never know when that's going to happen, and it could be inconvenient. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of this suffering. So also regret any anger, any attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, I'm sick of this suffering. So then who do we turn to? What can I do about it? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can just also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And you can imagine he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this white lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud. And it's just like our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, yet untainted by them. And Vajrasattva has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all the people of your life. You can imagine that he's looking at you with absolute joy. He's so happy to see you. And then just imagine, in this kind of happy way, offering you peace and love and security and stability. Complete acceptance. No matter how you've shown up this evening, he's accepting you exactly as you are. Not wanting to change anything, not wanting to fix anything, just acceptance. So he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and there being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of someone that you may have harmed recently, and just develop in your mind this wish for them to be free from suffering. And then think of somebody who's harmed you, and this might be a little bit more difficult, but because of the harm they've caused you, they will experience some form of suffering in the future, with some uncertainty about when that might ripen. So because of this, we would develop a wish in our heart for them to not suffer, have compassion for them. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So next is the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, doing the practice of purification with recitation, visualization. So we start with the purification of the body. So Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose quite strongly, maybe a fire hose or a waterfall, maybe Niagara Falls, and it comes from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire body completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And the next is the purification of speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows, quite powerfully overflows, and disappears into space. Not one atom left of negativity. So you can just imagine that all the gossip, the harsh speech and the useless speech and any careless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me samshriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramami mutsa vajrabala mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Excuse me. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And the next is a purification of the mind. And just imagine Vajrasattva again, very happily, delightfully, sends powerful beams of light this time from his heart chakra, and this arcs around, pours into you through your crown, and comes to your heart. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness. So the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your depression, all your anger and anxiety and, not feeling enough, not feeling worthy, and any bitterness and grudges, jealousy, disappointments. So all of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame muttavawa mazamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahazamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, are our own delusions, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech are totally purified, gone. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And this time imagine Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. So if you wish, you can recite a couple of mantras for each of the visualization of the body and of the speech and the mind that we've just done. Or you can just imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe. So now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve. And this is the fourth step in the purification process. But first of all, just rejoice in your efforts turning up tonight. You know, if you've been busy, you're at work, someone's in hospital. It's kind of amazing. And thank goodness for Zoom. It's really incredible that we can all meet kind of wherever we are, as long as we have a mobile device. So just rejoice for that. And rejoice that you're actually alive and you are able to do this practice. Because some people died today. Many people probably did. So then we come to resolve and we think of something that we've been working on. So just rejoice in your efforts in any progress you're making, no matter how tiny. And so think, I'm going to refrain from this thing, this habit that I have that's harmful to others, whether it's with our speech or we bite our nails or whatever. I'm going to refrain from this for 5 minutes or half an hour or an hour or overnight while I'm sleeping. And this aspiration to change, this decision we make to try and work on our habits, our negative habits, is what gives us the strength to change, to make a decision. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, the same thing. And LAMA YESHE calls this union oneness. So next, as Rinpoche recommends, meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that emptiness at whatever level you understand it, no matter how little. For me, it's pretty little. Because you can think of all phenomena as being empty, not existing from their own side. You can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they exist. And so let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings. And Mary just put in a message saying she lost 2 friends last night. So for those 2 people as well. May all the virtuous karma I have created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And so for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, May all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Ho Tup Shu Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway Tenzing Kyong Pelaway Kunzo Dog Porze Chog Sum Kurwe Legmon Tu Drub Pa Dog Sog Dulje Gondu Shab Ten Shug. And Father Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, another day gone like a dream. Thank you very much. Lots of love. Take care and sleep well. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. And Lorraine, I hope you get out of there soon and get well.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Lots of love, everybody. Good night. Sleep well.
Venerable Katie.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Venerable. Get well.